Hello.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful.
All right. I got a question for you.
All right.
I need you to close your eyes and I need you to imagine
Okay.
that I am a kindergarten teacher.
All right.
Okay.
Doug, the kindergarten
On the
teacher.
first day of school,
Okay.
I get up in front of my class and I announce to them that I enjoy having sex with women.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think there's a problem with that?
Yes.
What if I
Can I open my eyes now?
what if I phrase it that I being a straight white male enjoy putting my dick in a straight white woman's pussy? Is that better?
This is kindergarten, right?
Yes.
Um,
Is there any way that I can phrase it that it's okay with you?
so yes, you could say something about my name is Mr. Doug and I have a wife and two kids or whatever. Yeah. That's
And
it.
I enjoy putting my dick.
No. Once you say I have a wife and two kids, it's understood that you are a straight, and they can look at you and see that you're white, right?
Okay. So are you telling me that there's never been any gay person that's been married? Okay, what no, what so according to you,
I didn't say
according
that.
if I'm married but my wife is a beard and I want the kids to know that I enjoy putting my dick into men's buttholes.
Your beard sucks. What? Kids, I have a beard, but it's fake. Don't tell anybody.
I'm talking specifically. I need these kids to know where I enjoy putting my dick. Is there?
It's very important for math.
Before you guys learn how to tie your shoes, there's something you need to understand. The blood flows into my penis. No, so what I was wondering is all these gender binary fluid kindergarten teachers are constantly recording themselves talking to their kindergarten class about what they enjoy having rub up against their man pussies.
Right.
And I'm wondering why half the country or whatever, or whoever thinks that's okay. But if I was to do it, I would probably go to jail. And I don't understand it because it's the same thing. Like if I was to get up and say, I enjoy a fat cock in my mouth.
Good morning, class. So
I just pictured it playing out like this. I walk in and say, good morning, class. And one of the little kids is like, hello there, Mr. Bones.
because of course. So if I were to go in to the class and stand in front of the class and talk, give them like a introduction to myself and tell them how much I enjoy masturbating, would that be bad?
I really enjoy me time.
Yeah.
Unlike your last teacher who tries to get through it as fast as possible, I try to stretch it out.
Right. And of course, one of the kids is going to ask, so do you like candles? Because that always seems to be the question.
Okay, so you're homeschooling your kids.
Yes.
You said that they have a, whatever the word is, syllabus or something?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, when is sex ed and can I be there for that?
I thought you were going to be the teacher. I was going to request you specifically. Can you teach my kids about sex? Because I don't want to. It's uncomfortable for me.
Do you have to do that?
They have like a, I don't know. So far they've had biology, but no sex ed. They haven't had like a sex ed class. No, nothing like
Don't
that.
they have a health class? What fake grade is your oldest in?
She's a sophomore.
Okay, and did she go through fake freshman class?
Yes.
Okay, so freshman class in a traditional learning environment is when you go through health, when they
Yes.
teach you about how your dick works.
Yes, she did. She did have a health class, and she had to do a report on AIDS, like the AIDS epidemic or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was for health class.
That's
But
the sex. That's sex ed is AIDS.
No, that was it. AIDS. No, and that was, I mean, part of her health class or whatever. Like she had to do something for like a paper on AIDS or whatever, the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. But yeah, she had to do a health class, but there was no like, it wasn't like explicitly sex ed. It was a health class. I'm sure they touched on sexual
What?
stuff. You know what I mean? I'm sure. This is bad phrasing, I suppose. So,
Aren't you worried that your kids are going to grow up thinking sex is bad?
No, it
Like
is
it's
bad.
a sin?
Yeah, it is a sin. It's against my religion.
No, I'm being serious.
No, why would they think it's bad?
Because okay, you're not telling them anything, and they're not around any kids to learn anything.
What?
They're gonna go out. They're gonna be like 18-year-old virgins. Is that what you want?
No, what a travesty. All right. No Doug shtick here. What is
Okay.
a good age for your daughter to lose her virginity?
Like realistically or
Yes.
ideally?
Wait, what? I don't know what that means. I don't know what the difference is.
Well, because ideally it never happens.
Well, ideally to you. I'm talking
Right.
about real world.
But you add so realistically.
Yeah, realistically.
Oh fuck! I would like to say 20. I don't know, 23 maybe, somewhere where her brain is fully formed and she understands the implications of the actions in which she is getting ready to partake.
Okay, what about your son?
13, 14.
Just whenever he can get hard.
It's different.
Is it?
Yes.
Why?
Because he can't get pregnant. You fucking dummy. See, you need health class too.
So that's all you're worried. You just don't want your daughter to get pregnant until she's 23 or whatever. But your son can just spread his seed everywhere. Just come on everything.
No, if you remember, I walked in on my son getting a blowjob and stopped him. I freaked out.
I remember.
So I guess a year passed, however old he was when that happened.
But oh my God.
So okay, in all fairness, it wasn't that he was getting a blowjob that I was pissed off. It's because he was doing it in the house when I told him specifically no blowjobs.
No blowjobs under my roof. You weren't. Why didn't you just high five him and close the door? Just
Okay, how old's your kid? Your boy?
13.
All right, if you walk in and your daughter's giving him a blow because they don't have any other friends, so
Of course.
are you going to give him a high five?
Yeah, of course. Of course I am. At least you're not sleeping with the teacher.
So if you walk in and a little neighbor girl is giving your son a blowjob,
Yeah.
you're just going to like, oh, sorry, and then just slowly back out of the room?
Didn't mean to disturb you. No, of course not.
What are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know.
Do what I did. Call her a whore, kick her out, and ground your son.
So you don't think that type of reaction is going to fuck your kids up as far as like how they view sex?
No.
Why?
I think all the porn that my son watched prior to that fucked up his view on sex.
So what you're saying is that he's already fucked up, so there's nothing you can do, so I might as well call his girlfriend a whore.
His dad walking in on him getting a blowjob, his dad walking in on him doing something that he knows he shouldn't have been doing, that is not going to fuck his view up.
No. Your reaction. You're like, you literally grounded him because he put his cock in a girl's mouth. You grounded him for that. What an asshole thing to do.
I could have kicked her in the fucking teeth. Okay.
I say that's an asshole thing to do, but I don't know how I would react in that situation.
All these years later, I understand that I may have overreacted. I will own that.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, he was getting a blowjob when I told him not to.
How would that conversation go? Okay, here's the rules. No blowjobs in my house. If I'm not getting them, neither can you.
Anyway, all right.
So does he still talk to that girl? You should have called her and apologize. I'm sorry I called you a whore when you were 13 years old.
I think she's got like 7 kids now, so I guess I'm a prophet.
You should call her and rub it in.
Told you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I came across this article.
Uh-huh.
I labeled it "Kill Switch for Cars."
Okay.
I want to know what your thoughts are on it.
Okay. Kill
New
switch
law.
for cars. Okay.
What?
I was just repeating what the article. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks, Echo. New law will install kill switches in all new cars. Back in 1998, sci-fi TV series The X-Files aired. You watch that, don't you?
Yep.
Aired an episode called Kill Switch about an AI gone rogue. Have you seen this episode?
Yes, and it's hilarious. It was the vision of the future in 1998 is so like looks like the 1970s. their vision of what technology is going to be like. This is high tech, futuristic, and it's like it doesn't look like that at all.
Told when the internet was still accessed by most using dial-up modems, it was a fascinating tale of technology run amok. A message about not handing too much of your life over to the digital world. Blah blah blah. While it might also seem like a sci-fi tale, soon enough, the United States federal government could force automakers to install kill switches authorities can access and use to shut down any newer vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, why are they going to do it? Why would they shut them down?
Well, let's say you're a bad guy in a car chase.
Yeah.
So instead of, I forgot, am I supposed to be against these? I forgot. Fuck!
Don't worry, we'll edit this part out.
I don't know why they would put these in here. It's just another example of the government trying to get control of private law-abiding citizens.
But what if there's a high-speed chase?
Hold on. How was that convincing?
Yes.
All right.
What if there's a high-speed chase and the guy had just murdered your mom and he's driving away, and the only way to catch him is if we could stop his car. Other than that, if you can't stop his car, somehow he's going to get into Mexico and you'll never see him again.
Okay, so here's the problem.
All right.
When I proposed that we did this, I said, I'm going to take the side that I'm for these, and you're supposed to act like we've never talked about it, and you're against them. Okay. I can't get in the headspace to do it.
Why? Why?
Because I think these are a good thing.
What?
I can't pretend to be against them. I can't think of a reason why, like what you just said is like, you just convinced me. You're right. We should have them.
Didn't even try.
If somebody kills my mom and the only way to catch them is by having this button installed, install a fucking button. Do it now.
Do it now in case my mom gets murdered. So this isn't like, I thought that this was when you put this on here, I thought it was the like drunk driving stopper or whatever. Remember that?
It gets into that down at the bottom.
I didn't realize that this was an actual like, okay, the cops, when they pull you over, they just shut your car off from their car. That's crazy.
According to an article, so this is already passed, by the way. This is went through the regulation. According to an article written by former U.S. Representative Bob Barr, hidden away in the recently passed infrastructure bill, the very one I warned before would negatively impact drivers across the country if it were to pass, is a measure to install vehicle kill switches into every new car, truck, and SUV sold in this country. The regulation likely won't be enforced for 5 years. So maybe there's time to do something about this. It gets even better. Barr points out that the bill, which has been signed into law by President Biden, states that the kill switch, which is referred to as a safety device, must passively monitor the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether that driver may be impaired. In other words, Big Brother will constantly be monitoring how you drive. If you do something the system has been programmed to recognize as driver impairment, your car would just shut off, which could be incredibly dangerous.
Going 80 miles an hour. Nope, you're dangerous. Shut the shit down.
Okay, so as things are right now, I would
Yeah.
say if left up to me, I would have to vote against this if I
Okay.
become mayor of the country.
Okay, why?
So I'm gonna. Okay, here's my problem.
All right.
When they first started suggesting that people carry debit cards instead of cash,
Yes.
I thought, what the fuck is a debit card? Because I was like 3. But I would imagine that I would have been happy.
Would have been
What-
happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you don't have to carry cash. And so you're telling me I don't have to write checks anymore and all my money's in the bank and all I do is slide this card and I pay for it? That
So-
sounds fucking great.
Why?
The problem is that like my credit card or my debit card number had been stolen like 20 fucking times.
Uh-huh.
So I don't, once they figure out that technology and they can stop, it's like just commonplace that, yeah, somebody got my fucking number. It's just normal. It's like, if that was your cash, like, yeah, somebody stole my wallet again.
It would be kind of a big deal, right? Like once a month or whatever, somebody just steals my wallet. No big deal. So I'm not, this isn't a dig at you. I honestly want to understand. I've known you for a long time and I can't quite grasp why it is we look at things so differently. You look at things like a debit card, you think, oh, I would like that because, you know, no cash. My immediate reaction to we should all carry a debit card is that's so they can track us. So I go, wow, what makes you
Because
go
I'm
one
lazy and you're crazy.
but I'm lazy too. I would argue that I'm lazier than you.
No, you could very well be more lazier than me, but you're also more crazy than lazy.
How is it crazy though? To see the
Because-
future. I can see the future.
I look at things. What is the most efficient way to do something?
Right.
Like the most efficient way to make sure that I don't have any money is to ensure easy access for somebody to take it.
Huh. I guess that's true. So even when, maybe it's me, maybe it is me. Even when they implemented direct deposit, I wasn't happy. I didn't like it. I don't want that. I want a paycheck. I want you to pay me in a goddamn paycheck. I want to be able to go to the bank and cash my fucking paycheck like a normal person. And actually, I would like to even take it back farther than that. I want you to pay me in cash with no taxes taken out.
So I am glad, or I was very happy the first job that I got that had direct deposit. Because I would one, that was very late in life.
Yeah.
And 2, I would cash my check at the bar on Friday and stay there as long as it would allow me.
Man, that's so crazy. That is just such a weird thing to me. I remember there was a big fight at my last job. There was like one holdout that didn't want to get direct deposit. He was an old guy and he didn't, his thinking was that he didn't want the company to have access to his bank account. And I understand that. Why? If you can't see that what they're trying to do is track you in the long run, it's, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, okay, so all right, you're being stupid. Do you think that do you truly believe that they implemented direct deposit to track you?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're
why
you're telling me there's no other method that the government could get a hold of how much money you made without forcing your employer to put it into your bank account?
No. Not to track you, like track how much money you made. That's through the IRS. I understand all that. But I'm saying like they're forcing you to get a bank account if you don't have one. Why? First of all, why should I be forced to have a bank account if I don't want one? Why should I be forced into the banking system that I don't want to be a part of? Why shouldn't I be able to live using cash to pay the bills that I have. That's what people do. That's what people did for years and years and years. And then they made it super convenient to just
Yeah, but for years and years and years, they also bought sheep and lived off sheep meat.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with sheep meat? So once all of your money is in the bank, this is a crazy thought, I understand, but what's
Can I finish this for you? Can I
Yep.
finish this for you?
Yep.
Okay, so they force you to deposit your money into the bank,
Yes.
and then they require you to fill out forms if you take out more than what they have deemed as necessary.
Yes.
And if you happen to carry more than what the cops think is necessary, they can take it from you.
Yes. Legally.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that? I don't understand the problem.
But you weren't going to go where I was going, but because it hasn't happened yet. But what happens when somebody decides that to switch your bank account that has all your money, they just switch that off or just take away your access to it? Once your money is out of your hands,
That's happened.
not
Twice.
to me, just
No, to
twice. So what would be your recourse if you called the bank and they said, we have no record of you ever coming here? I need my negative balance, please. So I'm being serious.
Depending on what day of the week that I called, it might not be a bad thing.
They wiped away all of your debt. So I didn't verify this, but I just believed it because it's, it confirms what I already believe. that somewhere in the banking regulations that you sign when you sign up for a bank account or a checking account, they reserve the right to not give you your money when you request it. And I'm holding that as true. I never confirmed it, but I heard it somewhere.
I think that's because they don't necessarily have access to it. If you what is the FDIC?
FDIC.
What do they insure up to?
$250,000.
Okay. So, and it takes a special, like I don't have to worry about that.
No, me neither. But
Okay.
that's not the point though.
If let's say you deposit a check for $5 million.
Yep.
Okay. So you go and 2 weeks later, you're like, you know what? I think I want that in cash.
Right.
What they are saying is they're not necessarily going to have all that cash on hand
Okay. Why?
because that is the agreement. You give them money and they're going to use that money to invest and they're going to pay you interest on your money.
Is that an agreement?
Yes.
So
That's the agreement of you using a bank.
Right. So if I'm forced into having a checking account or savings account because I have to get direct deposit, I'm forced into that agreement. Is it really an agreement if I'm forced into it?
Get one of them gift cards, reloadable gift cards, if you don't want to get into the banking system.
Right.
And trust me, there's no. Okay. You are not in a predicament where they're going to deposit your check and then you go to get it and they're saying, sorry, we have to get the bank truck here to unload the cash before we can.
but that's not the point.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're talking about what ifs, and I'm talking about right now.
Wait a minute. You're the one that's had your debit card hacked like 30 times. I've never had my debit card. Well, no, you know what? I never once I think I've had my debit card hacked.
Don't sit here and tell me I never have, other than that one time.
It was an account that's tied to you.
Okay, now three times then. Three times.
Personally, I've never had my debit card account because I don't just throw the number around. You apparently just kind of just randomly email it to people. I don't.
Hey, see if you can do something with this. I don't believe you.
Don't believe me? What?
That you've never had money stolen out of your account.
Yeah, you shouldn't believe me because I have. I think it's happened like 2 or 3 times.
It's bad enough that you try to make believe that you're a better person than me.
Uh-huh. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids. But you believe me, didn't you? That's all that matters.
No, didn't I say I don't believe you?
Fuck. Didn't I specifically say I don't believe you? Oh my God.
But anyway, the kill switches. My problem with it
Right.
is I know for certain that there isn't any technology on this earth that is unhackable, right?
Right. I agree.
Okay, so why would you make it this easy to rape somebody? Like,
What? All right.
if you just see somebody that looks mildly attractive driving their fucking Subaru or whatever the fuck it is they're driving, and you just have your little garage door opener program to shut off people's cars, it's like, ooh, that looks rapeable. And then you just click the button and their car dies, and you're like, hi, it looks like you're having some car trouble. You got a leaky pipe.
So, all right. I'm back on board. I think this is a great idea. So, that's the most terrible logic I've ever heard. So, why do they just let people walk down the street next to each other? Somebody's going to get raped. Why do they make it so easy to rape people?
Did you happen to notice what she was wearing?
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me that you don't think if they implement this that people will use it for nefarious purposes, like robbing people or...
Yes, absolutely they will. Every
Okay, then-
single technology gets used that way.
So then why would you say it was a bad argument?
Because it's the same argument. I just told you why I said that. Why are streets public that men and women are allowed to walk next to each other? Women are going to get raped. You're telling me that if women walk next to men, they're not going to get raped?
So you're telling me then we should just accept the fact that rape is a thing?
Yes. Just let it
I never
happen.
looked at it then.
just lean into it. I mean, wouldn't that be better?
All right. So how do we stop this? Like, I want to start a commission that stops this.
Okay.
I want to kill the kill switches.
Vote? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how you would, this sort of thing, like, benefits people that are rich and powerful, right? So good luck.
Like big switch or something?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Big switch. If the cops can just stop your car anytime, it's good for the people in charge. That's a good thing for them. And not only is it good for them in that instance, if you can get the whole population to be used to just the cops can just stop your car whenever, that kind of compliance is good for the people in charge. So they're not going to vote against their own interests. I mean,
So imagine like, all right, I was sitting at home. This is quite a few years ago.
okay.
And the neighbor came over and he had just blood going fucking everywhere. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he broke a window with his hand.
Oh,
And
okay.
it cut open his femoral artery or whatever that's in his arm. I don't know. Anyway, he was bleeding everywhere.
Gotcha.
So he had it wrapped up in a towel and asked me if I could take him to the hospital because his wife wasn't home.
Okay.
So got him in the car and I took off like somebody who was not in a rush.
Okay.
And he started screaming at me saying that this is my first interaction with this guy. And he started screaming at me saying that he's going to bleed out. And at the time he was yelling at me, I was stopped at a stop sign. There was nobody around, but I had to come to a complete stop before moving forward.
God.
But from that, when he started yelling at me, then I just said, fuck it. And
Just sped fast.
slowed down through the stop signs and whatnot. But what I'm getting at is, let's say that you're in a situation like that where you're taking somebody to a hospital and you happen to cross traffic from a cop and then he just hits you with the garage door opener and kills your car.
Yeah. That guy dies. In that case, should the cop be charged with murder?
Yes. In all cases, the cop should be charged with murder.
Every traffic stop all the time. Congratulations, you graduated police academy. Turn around, face the wall. You're going to jail for murder. So Isn't there like immunity laws or whatever for cops to where it's really hard to charge them for murder?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you really got a something black man's neck.
Right.
Okay, so if people are okay with this, why wouldn't they be okay with, say, the electric company determining how much power you're allowed to use? And they just, you know what, it's 9 o'clock. It's time for you to go to bed anyway, so I'm shutting your lights off.
Right. Right. And if we're going to take it all the way out, shouldn't you have to register your door locks with the police department and give them a copy of your house key?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
As long as they use it during a raid, fuck, they just destroy the shit out of everything.
Right. Can you just come in nicely just instead of breaking my shit? You ever known anybody that's been through a drug raid?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why you would
I
ask
don't
that.
understand the question. So I knew somebody that went through a drug raid, and they came and turned their house upside down, turned up, emptied every single drawer. They just opened the drawers, dump them on the floor, whatever. They're not nice about any of that shit. And they found some pictures of this guy and his wife fucking, and they took those pictures from where they found them and they laid them out across the kitchen table before they left, just so that the guy knew, hey, we saw your pictures. You fucking dickheads, man.
So if I was a cop,
Uh-huh.
that's exactly like you described how I would do it.
Yeah.
Like I would empty out all the food containers in the fridge onto the floor, everything, dump out all the milk just to make sure there's no contraband hidden in there.
Uh-huh. Start dumping shit behind the refrigerator.
Clip the little white hose that feeds your ice maker in case you have a dollar bill in there or something. Anything I could, just so you know not to fuck with me.
You're just a random guy. I never met you before. Never gonna see you again. But you better not fuck with me. Do they ever get any kind of like repercussions when they do that kind of shit? I mean,
No, they're just doing their job.
right? Spreading the naked pictures on the kitchen table, just doing your job.
No, I say more power to the people or something. Like
I think that's the opposite of what you're trying to say.
whatever. Anyway, I am for cops working the thin blue line and being able to get in and look around, poke their noses in, get the elbow grease, get all the drugs off the street.
If they could eliminate all crime, would you be okay with like basically registering your house locks and giving your local police department a key to your house? Every lock has to be registered, not just your house key, but every lock on ever sold has to be registered.
Well, hold on. What's the question? You said if I
all
can
crime, they're going to guarantee that there's not going to be any more crime because they're going to round up all the criminals and then nobody's going to commit any crimes because we have access to your house.
Okay, but
that's how they sell the stuff.
Before I answer this, does it work? Like what I would ask you is, I would say, if you knew that it would eliminate all crimes, would you register your locks?
No, of course not.
Yeah, and I would say you're selfish if you say no.
Yeah, I know. I understand that the new line in the past couple of years is freedom is selfish. I get that.
Yeah, I'm not telling you can't walk outside, dickhead. I said you can single-handedly, in our make-believe world, eliminate all crimes everywhere. There is no more crimes. It's all gone. All you have to do is tell them which Walmart lock you got on your front door. and you're going to say, no, I would rather keep that information private, let the crimes continue.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
You're just selfish.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yes.
I don't even believe you. again.
Why would you?
Because nobody in their right mind would make that decision. Nobody in their right mind would say, my privacy of which lock I own on my front door is more important than the health and safety of the entire world.
No,
There's nobody.
You're misunderstanding. So I have to go there and say, I bought this lock. And they're like, okay, got it. And they just write it down. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. But what I was saying was you register your locks and you give them a copy of the key.
Right. But I made up a make-believe story. Like, there.
Okay. Yes. Fine. Yeah. If they need to know what model of lock I have on my door. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now what about they want a copy of the key?
No.
But only your house. And it solves all the world's crime.
Sorry, world.
I don't believe you.
Why?
I don't.
What? Why? Why would you? That's weird.
Because you would be guaranteeing that unless your kids die in some horrible automobile accident, they're never going to be murdered. There's no more school shootings. There's no more rape. There's no more child pornography. There's no more pedophilia. There's no more dog abuse. There's no more all crimes eliminated just by you giving them a key.
Not happening.
Yeah. And with me, I would not only give them a key, I would be okay if it was just, and you have to kill yourself. No, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So, would you put on a beaded door on your front door? Take your door out and beaded door only.
I can't. Okay, would you, if you could eliminate all crimes from humanity?
Yeah.
And all you had to do was serve a life sentence in prison. Would you do that?
So what you're asking me is you're basically saying they're going to tell you this. Do you trust this? Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay. Yeah. If we're somehow magically, yes, sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But
okay. I knew I could get there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, of course, if it's, the problem is that the way they sell these things is we're going to eliminate all crime. And when somebody tells you they're going to eliminate all crime, if you're stupid enough to believe them, you should give them a copy of your house key, I guess. I mean, that's just not the way the world works.
Have you watched, I promised I was not going to talk about this movie.
Oh, boy.
Have you watched Don't Look Up?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Was it bad?
No, you should watch it.
Oh, okay. So it was bad.
You should watch it so we can discuss it. I don't want to talk about it if you haven't seen it.
Why? I'm not going to watch it. I want you to spoil it for me. I want you to spoil it for everybody.
No, I want you to watch it and then we'll talk about it.
What's it about?
Oh, fuck.
Is it about the sky? What's it about?
A meteor coming towards Earth that's going to wipe it out. It gets discovered that and the trajectory or whatever says that it's going to hit in 6 months. And they provide all the proof and nobody believes them. And then the country's split in half, that half of the people say that the meteor's coming and we need to do something to try to deflect it. And the other half says, don't worry about it. And it's essentially like a metaphor for climate change.
Right.
is essentially what the thing is about. But I want you to watch it so we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it right after Top Gun. I think it's on.
Listen, dickhead, I'm not even asking you to pull a fucking story. Just sit down, put your thumb up your fucking ass, and stare at the TV for an hour and a half so we have something to talk about.
Why don't you just tell me about it? What is the problem with you telling me about it? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't it be better if I haven't seen it and you can just explain it?
No.
I want your take on it.
And you can get it once we can exchange takes at the same time. Same time, I'm not giving you my take first, waiting on your take, and your take's never going to come because you're going to trick me into thinking that you saw it. I'm going to make you go first.
I already saw it. Matt Damon's acting was really good. The chick that from The Office was really hot. That's it, right? That's the whole movie. Climate change or something.
So what's funny about it is after it was over, I'm like, because I thought that I heard that this was a really good movie, and I was looking forward to it, and sure. I didn't even know what it was about when I started watching it. And it was like 15 minutes in, and I'm like, motherfucker, this is like that Jew movie about Christmas or whatever. It's just propaganda bullshit.
This is a Jew movie about Christmas. Awesome. So
and it's like commingled between COVID bullshit or what's that other thing? Climate control or climate change.
Air conditioning. So this is what I haven't heard much about it, but I've heard from when I read on the internet from people who are like left leaning, whatever, they think it's a great movie. When anybody on the internet that's right leaning at all thinks it's garbage propaganda. So I don't know.
But see, this would help if you had seen it.
Sure.
Because aside from it being garbage propaganda, it is also not a great movie.
That sucks. I mean, so can you think of any propaganda movies that are good movies?
Reefer Madness.
Have you ever actually seen Reefer Madness?
I have not.
Me neither.
Give me another propaganda movie, like a popular propaganda movie that I would have seen. Okay, Top Gun.
Top Gun is the first one that comes to mind.
Do you think that there's any, so I was watching, the fuck was I watching? Navy SEALs is some TV show.
Okay.
And it got me thinking, do you think that there is any other country in the world that has as many military shows and movies as what we do?
No, of course not.
Like, whatever them fucking desert people are, like, do you think that they have like
Ewoks?
No, like Asians or whatever. Okay, like Fathy, he lives in sand.
Egypt. Yeah, he lives in sand, right?
Do you think that there's like an Egyptian army TV show where it's like a drama set in the sand and they all just like talk about manly things?
I think that their everyday interactions with the military is drama. Like they're worried they're going to get killed every day, right? I don't know. I just made that up. Yeah, this is going to sound like a very ignorant question. Do they even have TV shows over there? Do they have like Egyptian production companies? Like, do they have electricity?
So, he shared pictures. They have like buildings and shit, like real buildings with glass windows.
Really? Huh. Is that where they film the TV shows?
No, but I'm being serious. Do you think other countries have, there are so many American military movies and TV shows,
right?
Like JAG.
Yeah. JAG. So, and fuck SVU or whatever. There's like 6 of those and they've been running for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Those are cops.
I lump it all as the same. It's all the same to me. And I'm not even kidding. It's all the same. Do you think that that's because that's what people want, or they make it because it's just straight propaganda? I don't know the answer. I'm asking you seriously.
Why can't it be both? I think people are so fucking simple that they enjoy propaganda.
Yeah. Huh. That's fucking crazy.
Also, I read that Bob Saget, when he died, he was murdered.
What?
So what I read was he was on the flight logs for that Epstein shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they gave him a choice. He could either not do anything, and they would publicize the fact that he was a pedophile, or he could take a shot and it would kill him and he would die of a heart attack or whatever.
Where did you hear that?
Like a Twitter comment.
Oh, sweet. So we know it's true.
Also, he very recently talked about that he just got his booster shot. Just like Betty White. Do you understand what's happening here?
So you have to have seen the athletes, like especially soccer players that are having heart attacks and dying at like hundreds of times more than normal, right?
Hundreds of times a day.
Right. Have you seen that at all?
No.
There's been I think you could find statistics on it now. Like in the past 6 months, there's been more soccer players and elite athletes have had heart attacks and died than in the past like 30 years or some bullshit. So Bob Saget was murdered. so do you think?
Do you think all of them are on the flight logs? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's where I was going. Do you think that Bob Saget ever had sex with Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen before they were famous?
All right.
All right. You got to have an opinion, right? I mean,
Well, I would say no,
okay.
because they were like one.
That's your reasoning because they were one? My reasoning is yes, because they were one.
Okay. Okay. I don't like where this
Okay.
is going.
You don't?
No.
Why? Are we talking bad about Bob Saget? Is your favorite comedian or something?
I've got a question for you.
Okay.
So like today when I was at work.
Yeah.
Or if anybody from work's listening, when I was not at work, I had this thought like, I wonder if we have anything to talk about. So I looked at the board and it was relatively bare. So I thought, what can I Google? Like I went to my normal sites, where I try to find articles.
Right.
Nothing worth talking about.
Right.
I really didn't want to talk about COVID.
Right.
So I typed in bouncy house deaths.
What? Okay.
That is a true statement. That is not shtick. That is 100% true statement.
All right.
So I landed on an article. My child was hurt in a bounce house. Can I sue? Bounce house injury lawsuit. And what I found is a lawyer who specializes in bounce house injuries.
Oh, that's awesome. Or we should call him. Oh, God.
Okay. So on this article
Uh,
from these trial attorneys, the worst bounce house accidents on records, because it's like they're doing everything they can
to get you to call.
to get you a bounce house lawyer on retainer.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, man. Can you imagine going to law school and get out of I mostly represent bounce house cases. What the fuck?
Okay, so I'm going to read these, and I know people die and all that shit. It's not a laughing matter.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. In May 2003, so over the years, we've seen a lot of news about bounce houses causing severe injuries and even fatalities. Some of the worst bounce house accidents are listed below. Which, if the only way, other than me, the only way you'd land on this page is if you've already been hurt, right?
Yes.
So why would they need to list out the 10 worst bounce housing injuries to get like, oh, these guys can Google. So yeah, we ought to get these guys.
So if you were like, say your kid broke his arm or broke his leg, not died, and you're like, I wonder if I can get any money out of this. This is why right here. It whips them kind of people up into a frenzy. You know what I mean?
Right. So let's say that my kid breaks their arm on a bounce house, terrible bounce house accident.
Right.
And I go to this page. Why do I want to read about these 10 other instances where people died on bounce houses?
Because
how's that going to reinforce my belief that I should get $200?
It does. It absolutely does, because it reinforces the belief that bounce houses hurt people. So my kid was hurt. Bounce houses hurt people. Give me money. It upholds that whole thing.
Okay. Is there any situation? Well, I'll get there. Is there any situation where you would sue me?
Absolutely.
All right. I wasn't anticipating that.
Yes.
Like what?
I don't know. I can't rule out anything. I don't know what you're going to do from minute to minute.
If you
You're
come
a
over
crazy
to
man.
if you come over to my house and let's say I'm having a party,
Uh-huh.
I'm having a birthday party for my daughter,
Uh-huh.
and I rent a bounce house, and then you come over and your kid falls off the bounce house and breaks their arm.
Yeah.
Would you sue me?
Probably not.
What do you mean? Probably not.
I mean, it depends on how much money I can get. Do you have insurance? If I can get money and it comes from your insurance and it doesn't affect you at all,
Okay.
I'll take your money.
I'm jumping away from this bounce house thing because
Okay.
I didn't think that this would go anywhere, but I pulled it just because I thought it was funny.
Okay.
It's from that same lawyer.
All right.
They have what to do if you slip and fall at a friend's house.
Awesome. Can you just privately message it to me?
Okay, so I'm trying to find this here. Okay. What to do if you slip and fall at a friend's home. Check to see if your friend has homeowner's insurance. If your friend is the owner of their home and took out a mortgage to purchase it, they should have their homeowner's insurance. If they do, ask for the information. Ask for the insurance information, including the name of the company, the company's address, and the Fred's insurance policy number.
Uh-huh.
All this while I'm laying on the ground. Like, friends don't do that shit, man. That's why you don't have any friends. If you come over to my house, no. If I go over to your house and if I trip and break my fucking arm, the last thing on my mind would be, how can I fuck Anthony?
Well, okay. What if you're poor and you can't afford to fix your broken arm?
You go to the ER, they have to treat you. That's the rules.
Okay. And what if you hurt yourself? What if you trip and fall at my house and you hurt yourself so badly that you can't work and your wife doesn't work? You're the only one in your family that works. So you're out of work for, I don't know, 3 months.
Yeah, I'm still not going to sue you.
So you would put your kids out on the street rather than take money from my insurance company.
Yeah, I would like to teach my kids to have integrity.
You're retarded. You're
retarded, and you're not allowed on my fucking property. You fuck.
You have insurance so that if somebody hurts themselves.
Okay, what if I don't have insurance? You're still going to sue me?
Yeah, I'm going to take everything you have. Everything. Whatever I tripped on, it's mine now. So it depends on the circumstances.
That's the fucking problem with this country is people like you. Just fucking sue happy.
Christ.
That's why these fucking lawyers can afford this fucking fancy-dancy website.
So if I came to your house and I stepped on the hundreds of piles of dog shit you have laying around all over your house.
What if you step on a rake and it swings up and hits you in the face?
And then you try to sue me for breaking your rake. That'd be even better. I can't imagine suing anybody. It would be weird. I'm not saying that I never would because I never know what's going to happen. But we had somebody that lived in our house when we rented it out, didn't pay rent for months and months and months, wouldn't leave, couldn't kick him out. He never paid us anything. I could sue him for that money. I'm not going to.
That's different.
Because
he owes you money. Like, you guys went into an agreement and he didn't hold up his end of the agreement.
I come to your house. The agreement is that I'm going to leave without a broken arm. That's
no,
the
it's
agreement.
not.
It's an unspoken agreement.
That was unspoken. That means it was never fucking said.
Right.
Him paying you rent is a spoken agreement and written and signed. If I produce a document that says you will not get a rake to the face while you're on my property, and then you get a rake to the face, fucking sue me. Whatever.
I'm fucking suing your ass. So you don't think that anybody has the right to leave your property without a broken arm? Is that what you're telling me?
You should fully expect that you're going to get hurt if you come over here.
You got those things that like.
Okay, so let's say that I come to your house.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't shovel your sidewalk. So
Right.
walking up your sidewalk,
Yeah.
I slip and break my hip.
Right.
And I can't work.
You're like an old lady. Right.
You would come out with your insurance information written down and say, hey, call this number and try to get as much money as possible, even though it's going to drive my premiums up.
No, I would just shut the curtains. That sucks. Just shut the curtains and call the cops. He was trying to rob me.
So if I sued you,
Yeah.
would we still be friends?
No, of course not.
but you're telling me that I should sue you.
So
It would be easier for everybody involved if we just weren't friends.
just don't come to my house. How hard is this to understand? Just don't come to my house. So it's you're not suing me. You're suing my insurance company. It's different. It's totally different. So yeah, I think we would probably unless you were being a dickhead about it, I think we'd be all right.
Like what? Wearing a yarmulke? Like I'm getting all your money, Oive.
Like a neck, you put on a neck brace. If you put on a neck brace and pretend like you're more hurt than you are to get more money, my insurance rates go up because you fucking can't walk, you fucking old lady.
No, your insurance rates go up.
Yeah.
No matter what. If I sue you and they pay, your insurance rates go up.
Right.
And you would be okay with that, paying more money for the rest of your life, whereas I could have just rubbed dirt on my butt and just been fine.
So it all depends on the circumstances. If you slip and fall out in front of my house, that's on you. If you slip and fall on some dog shit that I didn't clean up, yeah, that's on me. There's different circumstances.
Just walk around the dog shit.
Just clean up your dog shit. All right, so what if I come to your house and you're like, no shoes in my house, this is a Japanese house, and then I walk through and
Okay.
and I'm basically wading through dog piss and I get an infection. Should I be able to sue you for you giving me a fucking infection?
No, because you chose to come in. Like when you stand at my front door and you see that there's a half inch of dog piss everywhere,
Yeah.
you know that you're going to step in dog piss. You could say, no, I don't want to come in.
Right.
You don't have to come in. You don't have to come to my house.
What if you push me in?
What if I'm a meter reader and you trick me into going into your basement?
Right. What was I wearing?
All right. Hey, do you think we'd kicked around the idea about swapping after show chats and Dear Flabbies when we record them?
Yeah.
You want to make an announcement that we're going to start that next week?
Yeah, so we would do the Dear Flabbies on Wednesdays and the after show chats on Mondays after the Patreon show. Doesn't that make more sense? I mean, because
so we're starting that next week, right?
yeah, yep.
Okay, so you want to make the announcement?
I think we just did. So next Monday we'll be doing the after show chat on Monday instead of Wednesday, and next Wednesday we'll be doing the Dear Flabbies on Wednesday instead of Monday. Got it?
Got it. All right, what else we got? We got trans in the news.
Yes, we do. I saw a
bounce house and slip and fall at Friends. We've got two birds with one stone.
I saw a really, really in-depth, like hard to read, hard to understand chart about the connection between JB Pritzker. Do you know who JB Pritzker is?
Banker.
No. You're thinking JB Morgan.
All right.
Almost the same. So JB Pritzker is like the governor of Illinois, and his brother, sister is a trans person that, I don't know. It's the Pritzkers are a very rich family. And this chart that I saw connects all of the things that they own or invest in. Every single step of the way is somehow connected to hospitals that perform trans surgeries, doctors that actually perform the surgeries. All of their money seems to go towards, or all their investments seems to go towards pushing this trans issue. And all of their money coming in comes from the results of trans people.
Do you remember back in the good old days where if you had a family member that was even so much as gay, you had to keep them quiet so that you could remain in public office?
So weird, isn't it? There's got to be a fine line between like that, which is retarded, and like you can be openly gay, but there's got to be a fine line between that and like pushing people into getting their penis cut off so that you can make money on your investments. That seems so backwards.
Okay, so if I felt my 401k would go up like 15%, if my neighbor cut their dick off.
Yes. You just start dropping little hints. Maybe you're trans. I don't know.
Hey, ma'am.
So what if your neighbor had a kid, 5 years old, and somehow, some way you had access to this 5-year-old in a non-sexual way, but you knew that if you convinced this 5-year-old to transition, that you would financially benefit from it.
How much?
Let's just say all of your money was wrapped up in that. All of your future income was wrapped up in convincing 5-year-olds that they're trans.
No, all 5-year-olds or this 5-year-old?
Well, I mean, that one in particular right now, because you have access.
No, like, do I have to keep converting kids? Or do
Yes.
I just have to convert this one kid?
No, you have to keep converting them. This is just another number, just another sale. Just keep selling.
Okay, what about it?
What would you
If my money's
convince-
already tied up, then yes, I have to.
That's what I mean. Like, you have investments in drug companies that make trans drugs and trans surgeries and all the whole medicalization of trans people. Your investments are all wrapped up in that. So in order for you to make money, you need more
Yeah,
trans
I would
people
be an
all the time.
advocate for you're probably trans. That would be my response to everything.
Everything.
Trick
Got a
or
headache?
treat,
Probably
you're
trans.
probably trans.
So- oh, what are you supposed to be, trans? Just slip it into everyday conversation.
Okay, so let's see here. Penn's Leah Thomas wins 2 races at Tri-Meet. Loses 100-yard freestyle to transgender Yale swimmer. So, what they don't tell you in the headline is that the other swimmer was trans too. So it was a female to male and a male to female,
Uh-huh.
both in the female. Oh, it's getting so confusing.
So convoluted.
Okay, a female. I'll just read what I wrote. Man to woman beats woman to man in women's swimming.
Why couldn't that be the headline?
Here's what I don't understand.
All right.
Okay. Man to woman
Uh-huh.
in the women's swim meet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing I don't
Here's
understand.
what I don't understand. Gotcha.
Okay, but if you're following the rules of engagement, when somebody identifies as something else, then that's the sport they get to play in.
Right.
But the other one's trans too, and she's female to male,
Right.
but she was still in the female. Like,
Right. I
So
think
it-
you just get to pick whichever one you're better at.
but no, what I'm saying is, okay, it makes sense in my head. So if the man identifies as a woman
Uh-huh.
and cuts his dick off,
Uh-huh.
so then he can swim in the girls' league or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Because he is now a woman. In their eyes, he is a woman.
Sure.
Okay. So if the female transitions to a male, she should be a male.
Right.
So she can't swim in the female league because
Right.
she's a male.
Does it, yeah, I agree with you. Does it address this in the article here?
I read the headline.
Headline? Does it address it in the headline?
How long before we get to have, and I'm looking forward to this, I will start watching football again if we have a female playing football.
Really? Just to get destroyed? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah.
But is there any female football players? Is there any female football league or anything like that?
What does it matter?
I-
I want
if
to
the-
see like 15 black guys just rock.
I've got a movie for you. So, what I want to know is how, at what point do we just stop and say, oh, well, we don't really need women's sports anymore, right? I mean, Why do we have women's sports? All of the men are
No.
winning women's sports,
no,
right?
No, we need women's sports so women's can play sports.
Women's, but men are winning. I mean, doesn't that destroy women's sports?
No, we need women's sports.
No, I'm agreeing with you. So you're saying kick the men out?
Yes.
Yes. Huh. What I want to know is, and I've always wondered this, and I got in a lot of trouble when I was very young, and I asked this question. I remember I had to talk to a teacher. She said that I was being insensitive, but why don't the swimmers on this team that are competing against this man and losing by like 15 minutes or whatever, why don't they just say, okay, we're done. We're not going to compete against this man because this isn't fair.
How did you get in trouble for this as a kid?
I asked the teacher why all of the black slaves didn't just not work. Just say, no, we're not doing that. We're all standing together and we're not doing that.
Ma'am, why didn't the slaves unionize?
Yes, basically. I think I was like 7 years old and I was like, I don't understand. Why did the slaves do the work? Then my teacher was like, they were beaten. Like, okay, but like they still did the work. Like they lost. If you just don't do the work and you let them kill you, you win. You're dead, but you win, right? The idea that you would rather be a slave than be dead is a terrible idea.
So you're saying that it's their fault that they were enslaved.
That's what the teacher said.
No, I said it too just now, and you said it.
That was the idea. Well, she didn't really necessarily say it like that, but that was basically the what I got out of the conversation, that I was blaming the slaves for their own slavery or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to. I just don't understand.
So do you still stand by that?
Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it? Would you rather die or live as a slave?
It depends what kind of slave. Like if I had to actually go out and do field work and shit, you're fucking right, I would die.
But if you were a house slave, you're good?
Yeah, if I just had to bring somebody their cabbage soup or whatever, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
I'll go downstairs and play spades, and then I'll come back up whenever you need your fucking soup, mister.
Plus, don't they usually have sex with the house slaves? So you're good. No, I don't know. I mean, it's way, 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 way more complex than that. But my 7-year-old brain couldn't quite grasp it at the time. I was like, it would suck to be a slave. That's what that was my first line of thinking. It was like, it sounds like it would suck to be a slave.
Glad I wasn't born black. Anyway, can we get to something better?
if it was, I've always thought this, if there's something that's unfair that's happening and everybody just goes along with it, you're all complicit, you dumb fucks. What do you think? If there's 100 people that say this is wrong, and there's 5 people that say, well, we're in charge, so you do it, and then the 100 people just say, okay, that's your own fault, you dumb fuckers, because there's 100 of you. Just don't do it and take over those 5 people. That's how I've always thought about things. It doesn't make sense.
Do you still have to wear your mask at work?
No, I mean, I'm supposed to. I haven't for forever.
I don't know what it's like in Illinois. Do you guys still have to wear masks in stores?
Yes, but I don't.
So then you don't have to. They ask you to, but you just choose not to.
It's the executive order still in place, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Every single store still has a sign that says you have to wear a mask to come in here. I just don't do it.
Yeah, but you did when they first put it in place.
Yeah.
Right. So it's your fault, you dumb fucker. You should have just said no.
I am. I don't know. I am. I don't know what you're saying.
No, you are now. After everybody else said no, then you started saying, like, I guess it's okay for me to stand up for myself. But when this shit was first put into place, you were just like everybody else.
Okay.
So don't sit there on your fucking high horse saying that you
There's
would have
no
beat
horse.
slavery if they would have got you.
There's no horse. If there was a horse, I would just ride away. I wouldn't be a slave. I understand it's way more complex, and my simple brain just simplifies it down to the simplest fucking thing. I understand. I'm a dum-dum.
All right. Are we done?
Oh, my God.
You want to be done? You got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. We never even talked about trans people, did we?
Yeah, woman and man and woman.
Oh, all right. So how did this woman beat this man? Is it because testosterone?
I already moved it over to complete.
Testosterone injections? I value my contributions to the team and recognize that my boyhood doesn't hinge on whether there's more or less testosterone running through my veins. At least that's what I'll try to remember when I put on the women's swimsuit for the competition and am reminded of a self that I no longer feel attached to. These people are insane. Hilarious. Insanity. We are living through insanity.
Oh, we are living through, what's that fucking movie? Idiocracy?
Yeah. Yes. So awesome.
That's this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This is so stupid. I'm wondering what the breaking point is for like regular people.
There isn't one.
You don't think so? I mean, if this wasn't it, transgender beats transgender in women's sweat. Like, if this isn't it, like, well, maybe you're right. Maybe if this is the most, this is so absurd that it would be hard to write something like this because it is so absurd and it's real life. And if that's not a breaking point enough, maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't.
I would say as little as 6 months ago,
Uh-huh.
if there would have been a headline that transgender man beats transgender woman, it would have been attacked for being transphobic. Like, now you're just writing shit to be stupid.
Right. But we have to write it. We're journalists and this happened.
What was it, like 8 months or a year ago, where two transgenders married each other, and then the man, the one that's a man now or identified, whatever the fuck, the one that has the pussy got pregnant, but he's got a beard too, so it looked like it was a big beer belly guy.
Yes. So awesome. Oh, I love it. Where do you think this ends up? Where do you think we are a year from now? Can you predict the headlines a year down the road?
You know what? We should make that's a good idea. We should make a time capsule episode.
Uh-huh.
Okay, could we do that? Like, so if we recorded an episode
Uh-huh.
and predicted, like if we were to do it today, where we're going to be at January 10th, 2023.
Yeah.
Could we record it and not put it out until then?
Yeah.
Set it as the release date.
And then see how our predictions line up, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Huh. Do you think you could come up with some, I mean, not even like jokes, actual predictions of where you think we are headed? Things that might happen.
What we should do. Okay. I think I like this idea.
All right.
I think we should ask our patrons to send us questions to answer
Okay.
for the Year
Future.
From Now episode.
Yep.
Like which celebrities have died, anything.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just send us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll put it out, a year after we do it, to that date. So if you have any questions about what we think.
This is like a good way to get people to commit to continuing their patronage.
We got to do this every year now. You know what? Let's do it every 6 months. Every 3 months.
Okay, here's a question for you.
All right.
Do you think that we're both going to be alive a year from now?
Yes.
Because I was convinced like 6 months ago that I was dying.
Really?
Like I just, and it wasn't like my health was bad or worse. It was just, I just have this feeling of impending doom that I'm getting ready to die.
Wow.
Like I need to get my affairs in order.
Wow.
So I had 3 of them.
was that was a long way around. Jesus Christ.
No, I didn't.
And
So
I fell right for it too.
so the way my brain works is like, I didn't think of that affairs joke until 3 seconds before I said it.
Yeah.
It was a long way around with no payoff. And I was just going to keep talking until I got to one. But
It sounded like you set that whole thing up just for that.
but it was, that's a true story. Like, I honestly just thought I was going to die. I mean, I even had a conversation with Kaya about it. Like, I think this is it, man. I'm just feeling like this is, I'm getting ready to wrap this shit up.
Really? So weird.
And
Wait.
still here I am.
What, why? What's the cause? Do you know?
Because my brain's broken. I don't know what the cause is.
But this is supposed to be your therapy. This is supposed to help with that. This is supposed to get all of that out.
Well, it ain't working.
Remember when this podcast was our therapy?
Yeah, I remember. I got the call back. I just didn't want to address it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Bye.
So are we going to ask them to send us their...
I thought we already did. We have to ask them explicitly
Yes.
for something that we already asked them for inexplicitly? Send us something.
Where are they supposed to send them to?
Like people don't know how to get a hold of us.
No. Where are they supposed to send them to?
Future episode at Who's Right Podcast.
See, you can't fucking do it.
What can't I do?
If they send them to you in messages
Yes.
on Patreon messages, because you're the only one that gets those
Yes.
for the most part,
Sure.
they won't make it to the board.
Yeah. Yeah, they would.
Okay, then send it to us on Patreon. Send us questions, and we're going to record an episode and then release it a year from now.
Yes.
That sounds exciting, don't it? Bye.